You're listening to Punisher Waterfowls, the Union 0430 podcast. Brought to you by Real Geese Decoys, the most technologically advanced silhouette decoy on the market. First Light, the best hunting gear on the planet. Go farther, stay longer. And Ducklander Calls, tradition, education, and quality. Built to hunt.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Union 0430, episode 158. Yes, that's right. I had to check my notes just to make sure. And you know what? We've got a great show for you tonight, especially for the people that are in Ontario, to our millions and millions of fans that listen below the border. You're going to have to bear with us on this one because, well, you can still shop here, but the chances are you probably won't. But mostly for our listeners in Ontario and in Canada, we've got Andrew Adams coming to us, a new company called Halstow. We'll dive into that and get to know more about that in a few minutes. But hey, he's still here. I'm really starting to wonder if me and Philly are just losers that have nothing else better to do than come on this show, because we're the only ones that are consistently coming on this show. Mark, Ryan, and Dave are just, they're obviously the cool, popular kids because they never show up. Me and you are losers, Phil.
I'm just convinced I got nothing better to do.
And so Philly's coming to us all the way from Port Perry, which is just down the road for me. And we've got Andrew Adams coming to us, I'm assuming, all the way from Fergus.
Fergus, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, coming to us from Fergus, Ontario, home of Halstow, this new company. So let's get right into it, Andrew, buddy. Like, first off, welcome to the show. We met
Thanks.
Andrew at the Grimsby DU event just a few weeks ago, which was a great event. We didn't get the people that we thought we were going to see, but I've been talking to them, and I think they've got a plan for next year that's going to make it even better. So anyways, we can talk.
It was a great
later.
time. Regardless, it was a great time.
Yeah, it was an awesome time. Yeah, actually, because it was sort of kind of new to you, that type of event, and we get there Friday, and Philly knows all of how this stuff all rolls out, but we get there Friday and everyone sets up, and as soon as everyone's set up, then it's just pints being open.
My tent went flying too, so that was fun. Yeah,
we had a pretty good draft to win, and so we're all sitting around up by my camper and having pints and watching Andrew and Matt put their tents up and
only guys in the trailer.
so we didn't help. We just stood there and laughed and poked fun of them like you would. But anyways, Andrew, buddy, tell us about Halstow. So first off, the first thing I want to know is, why did you try to get into this world? That's my first question. Why?
You know what? It's an accumulation of things. I got into waterfowl. A good friend of mine, David, kept inviting me out for years to go waterfowl hunting. And one year I finally went. I met this great guy, Warren, who was my mentor, and he taught me a lot about waterfowl hunting, and I came to love it and got hooked like all of us usually do. And unfortunately, he passed. And I was sitting there thinking about hunting, and we all went up to 9 Mile Lake up in Perry Sound. And when I was up there, I started thinking about, all the difficulties we're having getting our gear out there and across the marsh, and started thinking about, the gear that we're using. And then after that trip, I came back, and it was around St. Paddy's Day, and I'm sitting there talking to my wife, and I was telling her about the issues I was having with my equipment. And we started talking about it, and I said, you know what, I'd really like to design some gear that solves the problems that waterfowlers are facing. So as we got more into it, I started seeing things on Instagram and YouTube and crazy stuff when it came to field hunting with, guys having to use their blinds or layout blinds to drag their decoys in and out. They, can't get on the fields because it's, winter wheat or whatever. And we started to talk about all the issues and trying to think of solutions. So my background is medical logistics, and my wife is in medical as well. So we started incorporating a lot of our experience in medical with my experience in waterfowl hunting and hunting all around. So we decided to come out with the extraction bag that we had at the show, which is a big bag. It's got like
big,
cubic feet
big,
of
dirty,
fridge.
big. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Big,
it's
dirty,
great.
big bag.
It's all around for, you know, you can use it for even big game, but decoys, getting primarily it's for getting your geese in and out of the field when you can't drive on it or use a trailer.
Or
And
dead hookers. You can pull those out with that too. Like
sure you could.
two or three easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. They don't have a soul either.
You got a
so it
neighbor you
doesn't
don't like
matter.
or something like that, but
Yeah.
so really we just
expose. Anyways, carry on.
so we just try to incorporate our knowledge into the gear that we make here in Ontario, and like we only make our gear in Ontario. Like we keep it North American. We're not doing anything overseas, and we want to keep it that way. And it's been a challenge, you know, but we're working through it, and we're really focused on coming out with new products because, you know, you go to many stores, like there's stuff that comes out, but there's nothing that's out of the ordinary. And ours is like a new way of thinking. Like we came out the family pack, and that got a lot of attention at the show. New way of carrying ammunition for A-frames and layout blinds.
Yep.
And some people like it. Some people trying to get their head around it.
Yeah.
But once they try it, they love it. So,
well, yeah, and don't let any of that dissuade you in moving forward, right? Because there's always going to be someone that's going to throw some shade on you, right? Somebody is always going to go, well, why would you do that? Or, you know, that's stupid, right? Because and I get it. Like there's some fellas, they just don't understand it, and that's fine. There's still people that are using Javex jugs out on the water and just throwing some black paint on them to try and bring geese in, right? So there's going to be people that are just, they don't see the point in spending money when you can jerry rig something, right? So don't let that ever hold you back.
No, we push through it. Like we've gone to a lot of shows this year, mostly gun shows, and it's been ups and downs. I've had a lot of support, had a lot of, like, you know, backlash from some of the older generation of hunters, and that's something we kind of expected.
Yeah.
And it's fine, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and we actually appreciate the feedback even when it's negative, because when we get constructive criticism, it lets us know, one, we're onto something and we need to improve on it. And we're not going to improve on anything unless we get feedback, good or bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So we're really just trying to come up with new innovative ideas for waterfowl hunting primarily, and hunting all around as well.
So sorry, something caught my eye. So material wise, so your stitching and your material, so I know you're saying that you're going about it, you're looking at it in a different way, and you're designing things, thinking outside of the box, for lack of a better term, right? So are you incorporating better material? Is your stitching better? You know, like what is it that's the hook, I guess, that people are going to say, well, listen, because we'll call a spade, and we'll you know, so why wouldn't somebody go to Cabela's or Bass Pro to buy a bag, but they should come to you? And I'm assuming that your bag would be more expensive than what the bag would be at Bass Pro or Cabela's, right? So why would you want, or how are you selling people to come to you instead of going and buying a cheaper bag?
Okay, well, first off, I appreciate the question.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bash any company whatsoever. That's not what we're about. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone has their processes, and they do what their SOPs would allow them to do for procurement, for manufacturing.
Yeah.
For us, when we first started, before we decided, no, we're going to make this in Canada, we went to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay. And the quality just wasn't there. And it's nothing against the Philippines. It's just, it wasn't what we were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So when we decided we're going to stick to Canada, it was a long process, like almost a year process of finding a manufacturer that would take on a small company just starting out.
Yeah.
That would make our products here in Canada. So baseline is quality. We went for a company that had a reputation, that is known for their quality, that stands behind their work, and we can work out the engineering with them on the products we want made.
Okay,
right?
cool. Yeah.
So when it comes to our products, our Famo packs have a 5-year warranty on them. All right. Our extraction packs, unfortunately, we warranty them in-house, right?
Yeah.
So if there's something like the stitching or the zipper breaks, we just replace that.
Okay.
But with the Famo packs, we will send that back to our manufacturer, get
Yeah.
that thing looked at, find out what the problem is, and give a replacement for
Okay.
up to 5 years.
Wow, that's
And,
awesome.
yeah.
That's a
So we
solid
stand
warranty.
pardon?
Yeah, that is a solid
That's a
warranty.
solid warranty.
Yeah, it
Well,
is.
we want people to know that we stand behind our product, right? We're not
Yeah.
going to brush people off if if the zipper breaks, if the threading comes out, like stitching comes out, if it falls apart, we're going to look into it because
Yeah.
we're building a reputation on quality products, and
Yeah,
that's what we want to be about.
Yeah, I get it. And I'm guessing what you figured. So I don't know what you know about Punisher Waterfowl, but about, I don't know, Phil, what was it, like 5 years ago, maybe? 2000, this is 2023. So probably, yeah, somewhere around 2014, 2015. I was making my own bags. I was doing decoy bags, ammo pouches, duffel bags. I was creating all this stuff. And so same thing. I was getting it done in Canada. I had picked an ex-military rigger. So he was doing all my stitching. He was building everything. So a few things that I had learned in that process, and one of them, and you sort of touched on it, is that in Asian nylon and North American nylon are two totally different things. They not even remotely close to being the same. So when you're talking about a 500 denier Cordura,
We actually do 6.
yeah.
We do
So
600. We wanted to go 1,000, but that's just overkill.
yeah, so that's what mine was. Mine was
Yeah.
1,000. All my stuff, everything that I made was
That was
1,000 denier.
bulletproof. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
tough.
it was. It was. But anyways, that's not me like swinging my dick or nothing like that. That's just I wanted to give some context to the fact that it is not an easy task to do it in Canada, to do it North America made. Like, it's a lot easier to just dump the money into Asia. You can get a ton more product for your dollar. And your margins for profit will be bigger.
Right.
But with that, you're sacrificing quality. And you've obviously decided that profit isn't greater than quality in your mind, right? So good
You're
on you.
absolutely correct. Like we'd rather build a reputation on quality products than grow big fast.
Yeah.
Right. We know this could be growing pains. We've had other companies reach out to us for manufacturing, and the first thing they say is make it overseas. We can make it for 25% of your price overseas, and we can punch out a whole bunch. We can get it on big retail shelves and all this other stuff. And it's like, it sounds great, but what happens when they start failing, right?
Absolutely.
It's our name, it's our reputation, and the only way we're going to continue to make more products, is based on quality.
Yeah. No,
That's what the reputation is going to be about.
Absolutely. And like, you got waterfowl hunters are notoriously hard on gear. And even more so when you're hunting with buddies and they're using your gear. Because you can ask Phil, because Phil took me and Mark out hunting 2 years ago, and we brought out his brand new shiny real geese bags. And
Hmm.
There was only an hour into it, and me and Mark had
They
those.
ain't no shiny no more.
Me and Mark had those bags dirty, and we're hard on gear, right? So you've got to have stuff. At the beginning of the season right now, this isn't when gear breaks. Gear breaks in December. That's when gear breaks. When your hands are cold and everything is freezing up, and that's when shit breaks, right? So no, it's good on you, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Philly, I know, like with your background, Philly, what's your thoughts when it comes to load carriage and that sort of thing? You know what I mean? Like your background when it comes to every ounce matters. Like you guys aren't carrying weight for the sake of carrying weight, right? Like
Oh God, no.
everything's accounted for.
Yeah,
Every ounce is accounted for, right?
yeah. Well, even like in my younger years, like my close friend there, Andrew, we used to backpack. We used to backpack. We do portage trips. So like you're literally counting ounces because you got to carry this crap on your back. Or in some cases of some outfits, like um, like molly type gear and stuff, like you
Yeah.
got heavy things in there. Like you'll want that quality product, which obviously you're producing because you weigh down these bags and stuff, and like last thing you want is stitching blowing out and
Mm-hmm.
webbing blowing out and all this other jazz. Like, and that's where, obviously having, a stellar backed Canadian product like plays into that role. And again, us as waterfowl is like we are notorious. And for anyone that's hunted with me for any duration of time, you've seen what I've done to my camera gear, to my guns, to like everything. It just gets mangled.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like, weight counts for certain things, and just the smallest things, again, like, good stitching on a product, proper stitching, all this jazz. Like these are a lot of things I don't think people take into consideration. And obviously I look at it from a slightly different standpoint. One, because of work base of what I do, as well as like the years I spent backpacking and stuff. And like you got stuff that's weighted down, whatnot, like, you know, manufacturing products and stuff. It's a whole bigger picture than what Joseph and I think really knows about. And obviously, Andrew, like you've spent the time and have done the legwork, and yeah, like said, 5-year warranty on a product. Where are you going to find that?
Yeah, you're not.
Where?
You know what? We started with an
No.
Amazon box. My wife Jen and I, when we were coming up with the idea, we were drawing it out. We're like, okay, we need to kind of come up with a model. So it was literally like green painter's tape and an Amazon box, and we're cutting it with like, our kids' arts and craft scissors and putting it together and be like, okay, this is what it needs to be. And then we're trying to figure it out and then talking to manufacturers, trying to get them to understand our vision. And then I'm having to think about, okay, when I'm in a layout blind or if I'm in an A-frame, how am I sitting? What angle am I on?
Yeah.
A lot of I don't want to say science, like I'm not a science kind of guy, but like there's a lot of technical stuff that goes
Yeah,
into making any
absolutely.
kind of product. So we
Absolutely.
went,
It's got to be functional.
yeah, yeah. And if it's not functional,
Yeah.
like you can have a product that serves a purpose, but if it's
Yeah.
not functional and user friendly, then you've just eliminated your whole purpose of making it.
Yeah. No,
So
absolutely. I tell you what, I was making those decoy bags, and the boys liked the decoy bags. They sold well, but nothing sold like those duffel bags that I had. And dude, I'm telling you, that is something that every waterfowler wants, because nobody wants to take their wife's suitcase when they go to hunt camp. Trust
No.
me.
yeah, sure.
And I tell you, when you can make one of those duffel bags, I'm telling you, it's probably something that you should look at. And I'm not telling you what to do. I know I sold a ton of them. We just couldn't make profit on them because we were using 1,000 denier Cordura and doing small batches. So it was hard for us to keep that tap on. But and you're obviously going at it a lot smarter than what I did, because I literally woke up one morning and said, I'm going to do this. And then went to my rigger buddy and said, I want this, this, and this made. Make it for me. There was no research. There was no nothing. I just said, this is what I want. And he made it. And then I tried to sell it. So you're obviously doing it a lot smarter than what I did it. So I'm not telling you what to do by no means, because I think you got it well in hand.
Just learning things as I go, like, and I'm always learning, no matter where I am, who I'm with.
Yeah.
It's just trying new things, right? And you never know unless you try.
No,
you know?
absolutely.
It's like,
Well, and that's good. You can, if it works or if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you can say, well, I can scratch that off the chalkboard because I know I tried it, right? So
yeah,
that's
You
the
miss
thing.
100% of the shots you don't take.
Absolutely.
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky, ladies and gentlemen, the great one.
Yeah.
Andrew, so, let's shift gears a little bit here, and then we can come back and talk more about Halstow. First, no, actually, explain the name.
Halstow. Okay, so that was an interesting adventure in itself. So my mother is English, and my in-laws are English and Scottish, and so my wife is first generation Canadian.
Yeah.
So she's Scottish and English, and she's very much into the UK, likes Victorian era,
Okay.
and wanted something that had to do with waterfowl, and went back to roots. So there's a place in England called the Halstow Marshes, and it is the last best preserved marsh from, I think, like the 1800s, and it's
Okay.
where the groundskeepers and the gamekeepers would use the dogs and push geese and ducks down these channels into a man-made marsh that was
Right.
it was different times, keep in mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
it would
of
be
course.
a netted marsh.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a turkey shoot, like shooting
Yeah.
apples in a barrel kind of deal.
Mhm.
But it's last best preserved marsh from that era.
Okay, cool.
So it has to do with waterfowl, has to do with our roots from background and whatnot, and
That's
we just thought
awesome.
it was fitting.
Yeah, no, it is. It's awesome. I was just curious. That's all. Okay, so we're recording on the 6th of September. Tomorrow's the 7th, which is early goose for most of southern Ontario. I don't know. Have you already been hunting, Andrew, or are you starting tomorrow as well?
I'm well, actually, tomorrow is a special day for my son's birthday. So we're gonna be skipping hunting on tomorrow, and we're gonna be taking out the kids on Friday, and we're going out
Okay.
Saturday as well. So
Sure. But what I guess the biggest question, or I guess the question that I was asking, is your area, has it been open already, or is it just
no,
opening
opens
tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Opens
okay.
tomorrow.
So just
Yeah.
like the rest of us. So you, hey man, and trust me, I've been there and I've done it. So small kids, yeah. You got lots of time to chase birds. Don't miss.
Kids got to come first.
Yeah, don't miss those important things. So you're busy tomorrow. Philly, are you laying the smackdown tomorrow?
It looks like there's going to be some smacking. I don't know if it's a huge smackdown, but I'm going to bring stuff into the woods. If we come out heavier,
and you know what? And you know what? A little birdie told me, and listen to this, everybody. A little birdie told me that Philly is not shooting sub gauge tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, right?
So,
yeah,
is this the beginning of Philly going back to the 12?
I have hummed and hawed about buying another one. I'm not gonna lie. I have hummed and hawed about buying another 12, just in case.
Just in
But
case.
just in case. You can never have too many guns. But yeah, I'm gonna shoot the 12 for more, just for, just like the good old days.
Brendan Veerman, Marco Cunha, Corey Baker, all you guys are listening.
These guys are fucking rolling their eyes at me right now.
And they're just
100%.
so disappointed in you right
But hey,
now.
I'm still shooting a Benelli.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna give the old SB to a go tomorrow.
Okay. So for anybody, so stateside, I know you guys are into your early teal, which is amazing. I'm sort of kind of, but I don't want to say I'm jealous of early teal. And I'll tell you why. And I think we talked about this on the last episode with Dr. Bill Dickinson when we talked about how people mistake wood ducks for teal. So
Oh, yeah.
so I'm sort of kind of happy that we don't have an early teal season because our mullet teal would be decimated if we had an early
Yes.
teal season. We don't have, especially around here, we don't have the amount of teal coming through that you guys do down in the States. So so our wood duck population, mullet teal as Dave calls them, it
Yep.
would be decimated if we were to bring in an early teal season. So our consolation prize is for 10 days, we get 10 days early goose or
Yeah,
7.
something like that.
I think it is anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a
Something
week
like-
or something.
yeah. It's a week and we'll get we can shoot 10 birds a day, 10 geese a day. So that's helping cut back on some of these resident birds that aren't really migrating or just hanging around. So
The city birds, the golf course birds.
yeah, the golf course birds. So
Yeah.
so that opens tomorrow for most of southern Ontario. I think New Brunswick, PEI, Nova Scotia, I think they have all been open this week. Newfoundland out west is open because I know Daryl Gilbert and Ungaros, I know they're shooting birds right now. So Alberta is good. I think Saskatchewan is good. So you know what, everybody, we're officially in the bird season. So it's
Well,
about time.
Central Ontario, their goose is already open.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
their
pretty
early
sure
season.
I'm pretty sure everybody is open. And if anybody south of the border, if you're still waiting on your season to officially start, please let us know and we'll shed a tear for you.
Yeah, we'll think of you.
We'll think of you. But yeah, so so bird season's open, so which is awesome now for you, Andrew, because now it's more R&D time now for you, right? So I'm not foolish enough to think that you're not enjoying your time out in the blind and hunting and stuff like that, but I'm guessing every opportunity out hunting gives you the opportunity to think of more products that you can bring to people, or more improvements or adjustments. I guess adjustments would probably be the best word. More adjustments that you could add to products that you already have, right?
Yeah, it's a good time to, field test the products. We've got our Gen 2 family pack this year. So
Okay.
we've improved the design a little bit from last season, but one of our spots is right beside Luther Marsh.
Okay.
So we're planning on going to the marsh and seeing some other waterfowlers and saying, hey, test this out, tell me what you think.
Awesome.
You want to try this out for the day and get some honest feedback.
Yeah.
That's what we're about. We want to do the research and ask questions like, what have you guys had problems with, and what would you like to see come to market?
Yeah. Um, just give everybody your website right now while we can. And when I upload this, I'll tag it in the caption and the whole bit. But for anybody that's listening, www.halstow.co, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So if
Yep.
you're
Also
wondering
that- yep.
what the FAMO pack is, or the extraction bag and any of that stuff, ladies and gentlemen, you just hop right on Andrew's website there at halstow.co, and you'll see what he's talking about. And check it out, and maybe you have some ideas on things that you could ping him and let him know, hey, have you thought about this or this or this? And maybe he already has, and maybe he's already in development of it, but you should check it out so you have an idea of exactly what it is we're talking about on here.
Absolutely, guys. Like if you want to send us a shout out, and you can email us at sales@halstow.co. And also, if any of you are stateside, please email us if you're planning on ordering, because we can work out shipping that's a lot more affordable that way than just going straight through the website.
There you
Our
go.
platform is based mostly for like Canada, but if you're
Yep.
stateside and you're interested in one of the products, just send us an email. We'll work out the shipping and get you a better deal on the shipping.
No, that's a really good point because most Canadians, um, most Canadians understand shipping from the States into Canada, right? Because we have reason to do it more often. But I don't think that there's a wide group of people in the States that's getting stuff shipped from Canada into the States. And the people that don't, I think there may be some apprehension there because, well, A, it's already expensive enough to ship just staying in your own country, let alone crossing borders. So you know what, it is a good thing that you're able to, take those one-on-one calls and try and come up with a solution to get people their product that try, $5 is $5, as they say, right?
Yeah, and we want our customers to be happy. We want like everyone to enjoy the products. And like if you look at our mission statement, we want hunters to spend their time hunting, right? Not
Yep.
worrying about, oh, it's just gonna take like 6 weeks because I went through like one postal service versus another. We'll find the cheapest shipping rate.
Yep.
We get a lot of traction through our site because we can see where people are coming from when they're
Yep.
looking at our site, because it shows us live feed of who's looking from where and everything
Yep.
else. Like, it doesn't tell us who they are, but
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
state we're at and
Yep.
the area and city. So yeah, send us a shout if you're interested, and we'll work it out. So
No, awesome. So, and I know everybody says this, and I think I've never heard a business not say this or a brand. But listening to you talk and just the things, the 5-year warranty, give us a call if you're calling, if you're ordering from the States, that sort of stuff. The customer care is obviously a big part of what you guys are trying to achieve here, correct?
absolutely, yeah.
Oh.
It's about the reputation for us. It's like making money is one thing, but we're not about like making millions of dollars or anything like that. We just want to have people enjoy our products,
Mm-hmm.
spend time hunting with their friends, their family, and their kids, and just get out there and do what they love to do, right? For me, it's like seeing people have enjoyment in what they're doing,
Yep.
getting good feedback, saying, hey, great job, I love this product, and it gives us the motivation to keep going and keep coming up with new stuff.
Yeah. Do you guys, and we don't expect you to let any cat out of the bag here, but do you have, I guess, ideas right now that you're going to be privately, just you and your team, doing trials and errors on this season?
I'll let one out of the bag. So we're working on
Ooh,
a winter model for the Famo Pack.
okay.
So it's be functional for when you're doing late season hunts,
Okay.
because like our area down we hunt in Grand Valley, it's like the tundra, right? It's
Okay.
all turbines there, it's open field, and it is like a sheet of ice some days. And the biggest thing is keeping your hands warm,
Yep.
right? Making
Okay.
sure that like everything stays dry, because it does get ice rain some days.
Yep.
So we're working on some winter model equipment and trying to
Oh,
test that later this season.
very cool. Very
Because like
cool.
in fairness, half of our season is cold.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And how
Well,
often do you want to be wearing gloves?
Exactly.
so yeah, you guys talk. I got to check something here because I know Bobby Hayes and the boys are going to be listening to this. And
Oh,
well, and if you remember when we had Bobby and Kyle on, they were talking about it being like over 100 degrees down in Kansas, and I just got to find out what the temperature was today here, because
hot.
this isn't duck hunting weather that we're having right
No.
now, right? Not
Last
at
week
all.
was brutal. It's been so hot.
Yeah, like, and I'm going to be hunting tomorrow and Friday, and yeah, like I'm just thinking like shorts and Crocs.
Oh yeah, like
Almost feels like dove hunting.
I wear sandals and shorts and just pop in my layout blind. Like last year, for opener, it was hot as well. We were cooking ragu sausages in the cornfield. Like we had the like charcoal barbecue out, and we're just chilling, having a good time. And then everyone's dying of heat, so we're all going back to the camp. Luckily, some of us brought shorts
Wow.
because
Yeah.
wearing camo was not a thing that day.
Wow.
No.
So, I thought we were going to beat Bobby, when I said the heat, but it's only 95 degrees here today, Bobby. So, I think you beat us, because it's still hotter in Kansas than what we are. But, I digress. So you talk about, so you had that charcoal and you're cooking out in the field and stuff. Have you
Yeah.
seen this thing and again, this is one of our tangents we'll go off on, Andrew. Have you seen that thing? It's called the Duck Blind Bistro. Jeff Coates talks a lot about it. Have you seen this thing?
No, I haven't. No.
Dude, this thing, and this is what I love about when you hear fellas come up with this idea, like someone will bring something to market and start to sell, right? And I'll look at it and go, just fucking brilliant. Like, why didn't I think
Makes
of
sense.
that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this thing, this Duck Blind Bistro, so those like freezer rolls or like the Pillsbury Doughboy, like biscuits
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And you take them and you cut them up and you put them in your oven and then they make like biscuits. Well,
Yeah.
this is what this thing does, and you can use it over your like what's that fucking stove, the jet boil we got. So you just turn your jet boil on and you put this Duck Blind Bistro thing on it with your biscuits and just put it in and it makes your biscuits just like it was in the oven. But it's
That's
like
cool.
it's like a clam, right? Like it just it closes up like this here, and yeah, it's like cast iron. Anyways, when you brought up about the charcoal and you guys are making your sausage and stuff like that, I thought about this thing, this Duck Blind Bistro, and I'm just like, in November when it's cold and sloppy and wet and miserable, and you could have a hot cup of coffee with a fresh biscuit and say whatever else tickles your fancy, some stew or something like that. Like there's nothing better than to eat hot food in the
Oh,
field.
buddy,
What?
I did a small creek hunt a couple years ago with
Yeah.
Jordan Stone
Yeah.
and two of his buddies there, Dave and Charlie. And Charlie wheeled out a Coleman stove.
Yeah.
And like we're legitimately sitting there smashing mallards, and he's frying up like making fucking mixed sandwiches there.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
like
I just thought about that. Could you
yeah,
imagine that if you just, so that Blind Bistro, if you took like just ham, bacon, cheese, something like that, and just fucking put it between those biscuits and then just cook them like that there, you'd
I
be the
want to say
most
I think I
popular.
act.
What?
Oh yeah, I do. I have a picture. Yep. So this is where it pays, folks, to subscribe to the fucking YouTube channel because I'm like we're
That's
having
right.
show and
That's
tell
right.
time.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
you can see on here, there's a Coleman stove rocking and a big old
Right
pile
on.
of fat green head sitting behind it.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome hunt. Like
Oh,
we're smashing mallards 10 yards in the face, in the pooty hole.
yeah.
And there's
I would,
Charlie whipping up bacon, eggs, toast. Like, oh,
but
awesome.
those are the hunts that, listen, I'm not foolish enough to say that you don't remember, you know, how can I say this? We spend the entire fall chasing these birds. So to remember every hunt, it's hard. It's hard to remember everyone because everyone turns into the same day in, day out, right? But when rain is coming down sideways and like you've found the X and birds are working, they're doing it dirty for you. And as Wade Shoemaker says, those mallards are holding pumpkins coming in.
Cup and pumpkins.
and you know, you're cold and miserable and wet. And if someone breaks out like a Coleman stove or a jet boil or something like that to have hot food out in the blind, I know
Game changer.
it's
Yeah.
something that I don't do enough of. I don't cook enough when I'm out. And it's something I got to change. Or I got to find a group of buddies that do it. But yeah, it's something totally different. So there you go, Andrew. That's something else. You got to figure out something else. You got to figure out a new cooking
You know what? Food has got to be
apparatus.
like easily 20% to 25% of like the hunt for me, because it's always about like who brought what, who's got snacks,
Oh,
who made goose jerky.
yeah,
Like when we were doing the barbecue, that was totally unexpected. My buddy Josh showed up, started getting his gear out, and he's like, "Here, take this." And I'm like, "What is this?" He's like, "It's my barbecue."
that's
He's like
awesome.
professional chef, and he's like, "Yeah,
Nice.
let's get some food going."
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
we got this joke about it's all about the pep. It's all about the pepperoni, because we have this little bit of superstition. When we get a couple of flocks coming in, we hit them hard, and then we get like 30, 40 minutes where we're just seeing nothing. We
mm-hmm.
start passing around a bag of pepperoni sticks, and they start flying in again. So we got this joke about it's all about the pep.
Okay. Well, and you know, as soon as you break out the food, that's when the birds start working again, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how it
my
goes.
buddy Andrew and I, we had this whole adage like years ago. Either take a leak,
Yeah, or
pour
have a smoke.
coffee, or have a smoke
Yeah,
and buckle up. Because like
yeah.
you know your hands are gonna be doing something
When
and
they
it ain't gonna be
start to
holding the
work.
gun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Every time.
Absolutely. So, Andrew, are you mostly on land or land and water or mostly water?
So when I started, I was always hitting the marshes.
Yeah,
And since I came to Fergus, it's all field hunting.
right.
I still
Okay.
love the marsh. I miss the marsh. I'd
Yeah.
probably gonna head up to Perry Sound sometime this season and hit up 9 Mile Lake. We've got a great marsh there that we've been going to for the last couple of years.
Okay.
But primarily, it's just there's the marshes around here. There's a lot of out of towners that just fill them up, and it's
Right.
just not that enjoyable. And there's nothing wrong with them coming up or anything like that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's just I prefer to just have the space, because that's
Yeah.
what I'm out for. Right? I don't want to get my head clear. I want to just enjoy the hunt.
Absolutely.
It's the same with like turkey hunting. You just want to sit up against a tree and just watch the animals and the sun come up, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So,
No, no, absolutely. I can appreciate that. I think as we all mature and get older, I think we all start to look for the hunts to be a little bit more simpler, a little quieter.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be so chaotic at the boat launch and those sorts of things, right? So yeah, I can appreciate what you're saying. I'm guilty of it, but I've been like this pretty much my entire waterfowl hunting career because I'm a little bit antisocial. So, um, you know,
We kind of get a 50-50 with the marsh though, because like we tried for a number of years to get this one property, and we just nailed it last year. Um, I don't know if I told you about the bear thing that happened,
mhm,
right? That's Thanksgiving, yeah. So there was an incident with a bear that also guys went and took care of it, and M&R was great with us, and we got that all settled. But the locals, like, it's all about again the reputation. So the farmers
of
around
course,
got talking, and we ended up getting permission on this one property. It's like literally right outside the marsh. So like we getting them when
yeah,
they're coming in, when they're going out. Sometimes we're getting freebies because guys are sky blasting them and they're landing
right,
dead in our spread. Like we're like, oh, are they coming in? Nope, just hold off, fellas, and they just
yeah,
literally land dead right in our spread, getting
wow,
freebies. So
wow.
that's it's kind of the best of both worlds in a way.
Listen, we're we're not quite at that hour mark, but it is 8 o'clock. We had a little bit of technical difficulties starting off, and Philly is just chomping at the bit for this show to get over so he can start packing his bag and get ready for tomorrow
Yeah.
for
I had all day to get this done.
of course you did. Of course you did.
All
And
day. But I'm like,
you procrastinated all day.
hey, like they said, procrastination is like masturbation. Seems like a good idea at the time, but in the end, you're just screwing yourself.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Phil Christian. So
Esquire.
yes, Esquire, yeah. So Andrew, buddy, it was awesome having you on, and I want to tell you that You have an open invite to come on the show anytime. You and Matt can jump on. Don't wait for an invite. Because I get the blinders on, especially with the season coming up now. I'll get the blinders on, and Wednesday morning I'll wake up and I'll be like, shit, I don't have anybody for the show tonight. So you may get messages very last minute because I'm in a bind and I need somebody to come on the show.
No worries, brother.
But with that being said as well, if you're out and you're doing product development, or if you just want to hear what people's thoughts are on anything, if you need our platform for anything for Halstow, please do not hesitate to ask us. Because you're welcome on the show anytime, and the platform is here for you to use to promote your stuff and to do whatever it is that you need to do to grow your business. Because and Philly will say it, and Mark and Ryan and Dave, if they were here, excuse me, they would say it as well, is that it's a good thing that you're doing this. We need more Canadians doing this. We need more people willing to try. Listen, it's not easy. And if it was easy, everybody to be doing it. But it is really important, and we're in your corner, and we'll do whatever we can to help you out, buddy. And that's a promise. So do not hesitate to ever reach out to us. We'll do a quick round the table. I'll give you the last word, and then we'll call her a night. Philly, to you, buddy.
And you can always like sneak peek some preview of stuff on here too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then
because like how many like First Light.
Yeah.
Notorious for it. All these like wicked videos are put on YouTube. It's like, what's he wearing?
Yep.
What's that in the background? Like,
absolutely.
Stuff like that. But again, Andrew, it's amazing having you on. Like it's unbelievably humbling and great to see, another Canadian producer of Canadian made products.
Absolutely.
Made in Canada. Like it's just there's not enough of that here.
Yeah.
And more so targeting the waterfowl, and I guess to an extent the hunting world, so to speak. Like hopefully getting that positive feedback just makes you grow, makes you stronger. And my biggest saying to anyone that chirps, oh, that's garbage, that shit, this and that. Well, if you think that product's so fucking bad, see you go make it better.
Yeah, make it better. Yeah. Accept the challenge.
Yeah, see a lot of people running their mouth off on social media. It's like, hey, let's see you do it better.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people chirping fucking ammo companies. I don't see you downstairs with a fucking press there, sweetheart. So again, oh boy, zero fucks given. None. Anyways, Andrew, again, absolute honor and pleasure to have you on. Fergus is not a far drive to Port Perry. Come out this fall and smash some pandas if you want.
There you go.
We're definitely gonna have to get together, guys, and get some hunts in. That'd be great. You know what?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Thank you so much for having me on the show today, guys. It means a lot to us, and I got a lot of people that are like, "Oh, is it gonna be aired live? Is what's happening?" That's why I was sending messages.
We're not that fancy.
No.
The first time being interviewed and being on a show with you guys, so it's been an experience and it's been a lot of fun, and I really greatly appreciate all the support you guys have shown us. And I look forward to being back on the show, and maybe I'll get Chris or Matt on next time with me, and we'll have a good chat.
No, absolutely, buddy. Bring them all on, and yeah, we're here for you. We're in your corner. So all you got to do is reach out and ask. We will try and gear up a hunt. Yeah, we will try and do that. And listen, everybody, Andrew still hasn't made up his mind about coming to the refuge yet. He still hasn't done it. So here's my challenge to you, is that I need you guys to start pinging him on social and get him and start using some peer pressure and making sure he shows up.
Here's an open invite to blow up his inbox.
That's right. So I want Andrew to message me in the next couple days saying, Damien, you're an asshole, because my inbox is flooded out with people telling me I got to show up to the refuge. So please do. And remember, Philly sort of kind of alluded to it, but like and share and subscribe to us. It really means a lot to us, and it gives us a little bit more legitimization. Is that a word, Philly? Legitimization?
It is now. Creative
It is
spelling,
now.
bro.
There it is,
works.
legitimization. Hooked on phonics work for me.
Yeah.
That is episode 158 of the Union 0430. As always, we will never pretend to be anybody that we're not. We're not experts. We won't pretend to be. We're a bunch of friends that love one another's company and love hanging out. Big love. Surround yourself with good people and don't be a douchebag to one another. Until next week.
Right on.